Hello, my chronic pelvic pain prostatitis sufferers. I'm glad you found this video. This is actually a follow-up video to my original video about prostatitis and interstitial cystitis, which I posted a few months ago. And I just want to talk about some really important things that I've learned that may help you expedite your recovery. And yes, you can get better and you will get better. And knowing is probably 80% of the battle. And if you missed my first video, then you don't understand what I went through. But I went through debilitating pelvic pain, penile pain, urethra burning. My most debilitating symptom was 24/7 chronic, constant, insane urgency to urinate. Feeling of a rod inside my urethra, burning, sexual dysfunction. Anyway, I have completely healed, but I guess I shouldn't say that completely. I still have minor symptoms. I'd say I'm 95% better. I've felt 100% free of symptoms many times for 90% of the time, but I do get flare-ups. And the flare-ups I have concluded are, and you may already know this, stress-related. So how I cured or basically, healed myself for the most part was through lifestyle change, primarily stretching, because it's the tension in the pelvic floor muscles that cause all of the dysfunction. The pelvic muscles being tightened, in my case, by anxiety that I had my whole life, which I didn't really realize I had, but yes, I did, and I was chronically tensing my pelvis. I wasn't even aware of it. And slowly my muscles got tighter and tighter until finally they created a nerve issue, whatever happened down there. And it manifested itself in the way of pain. And that is true for probably 90+% of sufferers, according to Dr. David Wise of the Stanford Clinic. And he has an extremely high success rate for curing this condition. He actually suffered from it for many years and traveled the world looking for treatment because conventional medicine just made him sicker. And I'm sure you're familiar with the current protocol, which is lots of antibiotics and all the other things. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. And there are some things that, most things you can do yourself. There's a book by Amy Stein that gives you the stretches that you need to do. You need to be proactive in your healing. And now that you know the truth, you need to get out there and you need to start right away. You need to start stretching. You need to start getting those muscles loosened up so that the pain will go away. And within a month, you probably will feel significantly better, if not 100%. So stress relief, which is hard because when you're feeling pain and you feel helpless and you're not getting better, you're stressing more, and that's causing more tension. And this is true for a lot of other things, including headaches, neck pain, back pain. Our entire body is composed of muscles that, when they tense, like a bicep, when you're constantly working it out, it gets stronger and stronger, but it gets tighter and tighter. And then the tighter it gets, eventually it causes problems. So there's issues with blood flow to the area and all of that. Also, anxiety will cause blood to be shunted away from the urologic region as well as the digestive tract. There's a correlation with digestive problems. Having bad bowel habits, which can be caused by stress, also can cause by poor diet choices. I highly recommend a more Paleolithic approach to a diet that will help you get on track, get good bowel movements. You should be having one solid, quick bowel movement every day, and that can really be a gauge for your progress with health. If you're having a solid, non-painful bowel movement every day, once a day, same time, that's really where you want to be. that's also going to put less strain on the bladder and the pelvic muscles. So I know that I have flare-ups sometimes when I'll have digestive problems or even a little bit of constipation, things like that. Finding a good physical therapist is very important because she can help, or she in my case, can help get into the pelvic floor muscles through the rectum and help loosen up the trigger points, things like that. I found one just recently, and it takes a while, but you have to call physical therapy offices and try to find someone that does it. So yeah, just a couple weeks ago, or even last week, I was considering myself about 99%. I was having virtually zero problems. And then stressful events came up. I stopped doing my stretches. I wasn't paying attention as much to the treatment I needed to do. And as a result, the tension came back, and also I had some digestive issues because I was eating way too many vegetables. So it seems like a good thing. So that really threw me off my game. So I just got really, a lot of pressure and gas that caused pressure on my bladder, which helped ignite a small flare. But I'm working through that. And right now I feel pretty well. I might do a 2-day juice cleanse just to give my system a break, because that really helps. If you feel like you have candida or some type of infection, which is very rare, that's very rare in these cases. I tried to treat that for a long time, but it was just crazy. Just relieving the tension, doing stretches, and not worrying about it ended up being the cure. But there's some really good supplements. Caprylic acid is actually proven to be more effective than any medicine on the market today for getting rid of yeast, and infections and things like that. Silver water will also help, better than antibiotics, more effective than antibiotics, and it won't kill the good bacteria. You need to get on a good probiotic to help replenish your good bacteria, and it's all about balance. And if you can get on a good diet and start repairing your systems through lifestyle change, and then get the physical components down with the stretching and exercise, you're going to get better. And it could be really quickly, it could be really subtle, but you will start feeling better within sometimes a few days. For me, I was getting worse and worse and worse. I had seen 9 specialists. I had, I don't even know how I did it. Honestly, it was so bad. And I went 14 months through pure hell. And then as soon as I found out the truth, oh my God, within a week I was feeling a little bit of relief. And then all of a sudden, like a couple months later, it was just like, wow, it's gone. There may have been some subtle stuff, but to me, it was so much better that I didn't even notice, and I was so grateful. And I started living my life. I got a new job. I started flying across the country, working at different bases. Met my current wife, and I moved on. But I was practicing very poor lifestyle habits. I gained a lot of weight. I was drinking a lot of caffeine, alcohol, smoking cigarettes, lack of exercise, poor nutrition. So ultimately, that led to other problems, and the health journey just continued. And now I know way too much about the inner workings of the body, and anxiety disorders, depression, things like that. So more than likely you're suffering from anxiety or depression, because these are contributing factors to chronic pelvic pain for a vast majority of people. And that's really the underlying cause. But to get rid of the loop, because you have to tackle the physical pain. Once the physical pain diminishes, then you really need to focus on the other components. I'm not a big fan of medications, especially benzodiazepines. Stay away from all of that stuff. But there's a lot of good supplements like magnesium, which will help with nerves and will also help relax the muscles. Now, be careful. You don't want to take too much. I'd suggest 250 to 400 milligrams of magnesium a day, but you definitely don't want to take, if you take too much, you'll get diarrhea. But 5-HTP, 200-300 milligrams will help with anxiety, help you sleep. Melatonin combined with 5-HTP is great. Do not take those if you're taking an SSRI, as they can cause serotonin syndrome. Amino acids, precursors can definitely help. And everybody's different. Everyone's biology is different. It's going to take a little trial and error. I suggest reading The Mood Cure. It'll explain a lot about that. Also, Heal Pelvic Pain by Amy Stein, and the other one by Dr. David Wise, Headache in the Pelvis. That is going to give you so much information written by doctors and physical therapists that have conquered these conditions. And that's going to give you the motivation to heal. Oh my God, hope is a powerful thing. When I lost all hope, I just got worse and worse. When I talked to Dr. Wise on the phone and he told me about his success rates and what to do, I was going to try to go to his clinic, but I couldn't afford it. And I was saving to go, but I got better before I had the money. So there is just so much you can do. You are not helpless, and there is hope, and you will get better. I was sitting there on a bench at the park after a 6-mile run. I was sitting there. I said, "Holy cow! I have zero pain. I have no pain. I'm in a minor flare right now. I had a pretty terrible flare back in October, and I'm my own worst enemy because I find ways to stress about everything. So I'm working on that. I'm working on creating a healthier life, a mental life, by reducing stress and trying not to worry. And that is my biggest problem. It's hard not to worry when you're in pain. So that's when the vicious cycle starts. But I'm hoping you get a lot out of this video, and I've helped a lot of people just telling people my story online, and I get calls from people and things like that. And it's a very scary thing. To be faced with that, and a lot of doctors say, "Oh, well, we can't help you. You can help yourself." There is relief. This is not permanent. And if I could find a way to not stress, I would probably be permanently cured. But it's a learning journey, and I think that God, I've through all this become religious because I feel that there's a purpose for all this, and that's to spread the message of healing, and I was put through that because of that, regardless of what you believe. And I said, why not try it? There's a lot of happy Christians, so let me give it a try. And so far, when I'm following that, it's really just following a healthy life. Just don't lie, don't sin, all that sort of stuff. So the closer I get to God, the better I feel, whether it's a placebo or not. Doesn't matter to me because I'm 95% healed from debilitating pain, constant panic attacks. I got off Xanax, and I did all that by the grace of God and through research, learning a lot about nutrition, which is what I'm getting ready to go back to school for, to get my master's and hopefully create a practice to spread awareness and help people out. So this is kind of the start of that. I just wanted to create a series of videos about my experience to really jumpstart a movement of healing, because this is absolutely the most preventable condition in the world, and there are millions of people suffering all over the world needlessly because a lot of doctors don't know the truth. So subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a lot of videos coming up about anxiety, depression, natural cures, things that help, things that don't. For example, stay away from Kegel exercises if you have chronic pelvic pain. That's just going to tighten it further, and it's going to exacerbate your symptoms. Some people have problems with dietary issues, and it's really important to do like a Whole30 diet to try to get a gauge if you have any allergies. So anyway, there's a lot. So find those books, read those books, and start implementing the practices as soon as possible, and you'll be on your way to recovery. God bless.